and welcome to Finding Your Light Within with me, Andrew Mark. Please subscribe now to the channel. My aim is to help you to discover your own light within, your life purpose. That's what I was able to do, and I would like to help others to do the same. So please go ahead and subscribe and enjoy the video. Coming up in this episode, you literally just have to start. Because I wrote it, that's the true power of journaling. These ideas came to me, and I had no conscious recollection of where they came from. I can honestly tell you that it changed my life, and I was struck by how profound it was, by how it was almost like a prophecy I'd written to myself. Today we're going to talk about journaling, and I'll reveal to you why journaling might just be the most important thing that you can do to discover your truth and your purpose in life. I'm going to share with you one of the journals that I wrote and discuss how it changed my life and what happened afterwards. We'll look at when you should journal, where you should journal, and how you should journal. So today it's all about journaling. I started journaling when I lived in Budapest. It was back in around 2003, I believe. My sister had bought me The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And in that book, Julia talks about writing the pages or doing the pages. And she asks that you sit down every day and you write 3 sides. She doesn't say what you should write about. She just says that you should write. So because my sister had bought me this book, and I wasn't sure why, because I didn't consider myself an artist at the time, I wanted to do my sister the honour and to try it out. So I set my alarm early one morning and I sat down at my table with, I think I had a blank sheet of paper and a pen, and I tried to write, and I had nothing. I literally had no idea what I was doing and why I was sitting down at that table. So what I did, I just wrote that down. I thought, well, I have to do some writing. That's how I'll begin. And I literally wrote down something like, I have nothing to say today. I'm sitting here at my table. It's 6:15 in the morning or whatever the time was. And I'm meant to write 3 pages, but I have nothing. And I just kept writing those things. Whatever I was seeing or feeling, I just wrote it down to fill up the page. That went on for about, I don't know, I'd say a week, maybe 7 mornings, 8 mornings, maybe a few more, maybe a few less, but around that. And then one morning I sat down and it began in the same way. Here I am again, I'm writing my pages. I have to do this. It's what the Artist's Way tells me to do. And during the course of that time, and it wasn't long, something rather magical happened. All of a sudden, I'd written a poem. I don't recall what it was about, but these words came in, I guess they came into my mind. They came from somewhere, and I wrote them down. And afterwards, when I finished, I read the poem back. And the very strange thing was that I had no recollection of writing it. It was as though subconsciously I'd opened a place within me, and these words had flowed from it. They'd come out from deep inside of me and come out onto the page. The next morning, I sat down again and I began in the same way. Here I am again. It's whatever day it was, Tuesday in February or whatever was happening. And another poem came. I kept writing and another poem came. And what I found was, not every day, but most days, I had these words would form themselves into verses. These ideas came to me, and I had no conscious recollection of where they came from. They came from somewhere inside of me, and they flowed outwards. And I just wrote them down. So every day I'd have 3 pages, or sometimes a bit more, maybe a little bit less as well, but something around 3 pages of words and feelings that I had, and they would manifest themselves as poems or verses. I persisted with writing the pages and journaling. And because of that, I can honestly tell you that it changed my life. That might sound strange, that writing something down can literally change your life, but it did. And that's what I want to share with you now. I recently rediscovered a journal entry that I'd written on the 28th of March 2004. I haven't looked at it, or I hadn't looked at it for a very long time. I was looking for something else on my Google Drive, and I happened to come across it. And I read it, and I was struck by how profound it was, by how it was almost like a prophecy I'd written to myself. So I'd like to share that with you now, because I honestly think it shows the power of journaling. And what it will show is what it revealed, which was my true purpose in life. Something which at the time I was struggling to figure out. I knew there was something not wrong, but I knew I was I say it's like I'm out of kilter. I'm out of sync with myself. I don't quite feel like I've found my niche in life. I've got a career and I'm successful and I'm enjoying my life immensely at the time, but still I feel like this isn't who I am. It's not truly me. This journal entry reveals that. So let me share it with you now. So this is that journal entry that I wrote on the 28th of March 2004. I start by sitting, obviously I've sat down and I want to start writing, and I know that something's not right inside of me. I talk about what thoughts should I share, but I think I already knew what it was I needed to say. And that sentence, why is it that I feel out of kilter with my heart and the world around me? That tells me everything at that moment. I have this life in which I am successful. I'm enjoying it. I have a great social life, a great career going on. And still, despite that, something's not right. Something in here isn't right for me. And I know that my life demands more of me. Yeah, I think that's where I term it. My life demands more of me. And that last sentence, this is really prophetic, as it turns out. I need to go and travel and experience something and find a place where I can call home. I was traveling for business, but that's not what I meant. I meant that I needed to go away from my current life and try to find something else, because that life wasn't the true me. In this next part of the journal, I reveal my truth, my inner truth, what it is that my life force is urging me to do. Yeah, this is the true power of journaling. It's here where it comes out. This is not real living. Real living is being with people, helping people or the planet in a positive way. I want to contribute to the planet on which we live and find a way to help. This is my purpose in life. I am sure of it. I want to find peace and quiet in the mountains by the sea. I want to walk and hike, swim, surf and snowboard, experience life and not be afraid of it. It's no coincidence that here I am now, 21 years later, as a school teacher, a job in which I help people every day, living in the Taranaki region of New Zealand with a volcano on my doorstep and the ocean in the other direction, literally a couple of minutes away where I surf. I have those things that I wrote in my journal. It didn't happen like that. It wasn't automatic. It took many years and a lot of decisions and stepping stones on the path. But I got there. And this, when I read this, it just showed to me the remarkable power of journaling and how it revealed my inner truth. This is the last part of the journal entry I'd like to share with you. It's a closing, and the following sentences I've highlighted. Failure is no option. It does not matter. What I realized was it didn't matter if I tried and I failed, because I would have tried. And I did not want to reach the end of my life and look back with regret and think, I should have done that, but I never did. That's the worst feeling, I believe. I just think that would be terrible. And I knew I had to do something. And then I made this commitment to myself, my pledge of life. And I say, this is my commitment to myself, my pledge of life, and I will define my life by it from this day forward. In writing, black and white, I made that pledge. And it happened. It didn't happen immediately, as I've said, but it did happen. This journal entry, I feel absolutely sure, was key to that moment. That moment that came about 18 months later. I made the decision to leave my career. Because I'd recognised, I brought it out, I'd written it down and recognised that that was my truth. And that everything else was almost a mockery. So many signs, and I've written this in my upcoming book called Signposts. There were so many signs in my life that told me I wasn't in the right life. I was living, but I wasn't living my truth. And that's what this is all about. So when is the right time to do your journaling? Personally, I enjoy first thing in the morning. That's a quiet time for me. I feel calm. I make a cup of coffee and I sit down at my table. I type it now into a Google Doc or whatever you're using, and I just record whatever thoughts I have. Sometimes I have no reason to sit there and write, but I just do it anyway because I think it's a great discipline to have and to maintain. So first thing in the morning works very well for me. It's a quiet space. I think it's better to not do it on a phone device because you may be tempted with social media or other things. Your phone may beep or ping at you. I think you need to be away from the temptations of the internet, in particular social media. You need to be able to sit down quietly and put yourself in a zone. So that's what I think about it as, a zone. Like similar to when athletes talk about being in the zone. I think that writing is like that too, or any activity, in fact, you can lose yourself in. And I think that happens no matter what you're doing. If you become engrossed in it, you go to a different, or not you go to a different place physically, but it's almost like your brain can switch off and you become much more aligned with your core being. Writing does that for me. Other things do it too, but writing does it. When I enter that place when I'm writing, because it's quiet around me, or I can hear nature, and allow myself to drift into it, that's when I can find my true self, my true feelings, not the ones up here, the ones from in here. The place that I call or think of as my inner life force. my life energy, what it is that I need to do to be my true self. Sometimes when I've been on vacation, I sit down in the evening, early evening after some dinner, and maybe I'll have a cup of coffee or a cappuccino at a cafe somewhere, and I have a physical book in which I write, and I might record my feelings then. But again, the same thing is happening. I'm in a quiet space, I'm letting my mind drift away, and I enter the zone. So the when is whenever you can find a quiet time. And you need to find a quiet time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes would work. Maybe a little bit shorter or longer, but you can't have distractions. It has to be quiet. The place, for me, that's typically at my table, in my dining area of my kitchen. That's quiet. I'm looking out through the window at my garden. It's peaceful. I've got some house plants in front of me too. So I feel that's a very quiet place. But like I said, sometimes I'll sit down if I'm on holiday or on vacation and I'll write at a cafe. And that can work too. Yeah, recently, well, not recently now, but back in January this year, I was actually in Texas. I went to visit Starbase, SpaceX's facility over in South Texas. And after I'd been there during the morning, I got in the habit of going to a cafe in the afternoon. And I find a comfortable cafe to sit in. This was a book cafe. I think it's called Karma Books and Coffee, or Karma Coffee and Books, one or the other. And I would have a cup of coffee and sit with my book and just take in the ambience of the cafe. It wasn't noisy. Nothing was clattering or being cooked, or that there's no hubbub really. It's just very quiet and peaceful. And in that atmosphere, I can find myself. So that works as well. So the where and the when is really up to you. That's a personal preference and choice. It just has to be calm. And the how, you literally just have to start. Paper and pen, laptop, Google Doc. It doesn't matter. But I just think, try to avoid the phone. It's a small device. It can work. And I think rather than recording your own voice, I've done that sometimes for a quick snapshot. I might have an idea and I think, oh yeah, I better capture that. And I might just do a quick voice memo. But yeah, for uncovering your true self and having to work out what's going on for you at that time or that moment, I think that writing is better because you set it out for yourself. You bring it from within you, you let that come out and you record it and it becomes a material. And like the journal that I showed to you, that, because I wrote it, that's the true power of journaling. So that's covered the where and the when and the how. You may have a question about it, and you can leave a comment for me and I will respond to your questions. You can personally message me, findingyourlightwithin@gmail.com. That's on my website too, findingyourlightwithin.com. And you can message me, or through Instagram, you can send me a message, or through Facebook, and I will respond to you. So if you have a question about journaling, please ask it. Comment if you found this video interesting. Let me know what else you'd like me to talk about. That's my life purpose. I want to help you. That's always been my goal in life, to help people. That's what my journal said was my life purpose. And it is. I can't escape it. It's why I'm now a school teacher. Yeah. Ask away. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to get this up and running again. I need your help because you guys are the ones that can let me know what works and what doesn't work. And I will take that feedback and I will make improvements. And I will deliver to you what it is you want me to do that can help you, if it's within my power to do so. Thank you so much for listening and taking the time. Please subscribe, please like the channel on this video. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Until the next time, this is Andrew Mark for Finding Your Light Within. See you.